What is up, guys, and welcome to FPL Today and our team selection video for Game Week 24. Game Week 23 has felt ridiculously long, so let's look forward to a new game week. We have lots of double game weeks to talk about, and of course the FA Cup to cover as well. But first, we're going to go over the little bit that happened to update you on my side, but that is after we get a quick word from sponsors of this video, SPITCH. SPITCH is the ultimate fantasy football manager game that's just hit the market. This game is available for those of you in the UK and Ireland, for everyone over 18 years of age. It's a fantasy football manager app that lets you build your team, collect points and battle it out against other managers. Play for free, compete against your friends in communities and have a chance to win a share of up to £70,000 on a weekly basis. That's right, there are weekly competitions, not just season ones, so every game week matters all season long. Various competitions are available on different pitches, and once again there are free games to play. Click on the top link in the description and download the app for free, and let's get back to the video. So thank you SPITCH so much for sponsoring these videos at the beginning of this year. SPITCH have been really helpful with this channel, so if you do want to play some more fantasy football for every single game week and potentially win some cash money, please check them out in the link in the description down below, and let's get into the video. So not much to talk about here. The major things that did happen, of course, King having an extra fixture, and Loughton should have had an extra fixture as well, but of course Loughton from nowhere has been dropped for the last 2 or 3 fixtures. I need to look into why, because it's not clear to me exactly why. The websites I generally go over haven't really stated any particular reason, but apparently it's not due to fitness, so Loughton is now a serious concern. But on the plus side, it does mean we get 3 extra points from Smith Rowe, who was our first player on the bench. That gets added to the 1 extra point that King got. So the end of the game week ended in 4 more points, so not amazing. But it does mean we ended up on 42 points. The average for the game week was 35. We are now at an overall rank of 31,659th. That isn't terrible and is a decent position at this stage in the season. However, my team isn't looking in the best shape, so let's have a look at how that is looking for Game Week 24. Now, before we get into Game Week 24's team selection, please do, in the comments down below, leave your questions for Game Week 24 and onwards. We are planning a new series, and your questions will be involved in that series, so please go ahead and get involved in the comments down below. But we look at my side, and to be fair, it isn't looking too great. The defence doesn't seem to be a problem at all, of course, because we've got Ramsdale with Wolves away. We also have Tierney with that Wolves away fixture, Davies with Southampton at home. Then it's Cancelo and Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. And we know any of those players have a decent chance of getting a clean sheet. And apart from maybe Davies and Ramsdale, there's potential for attacking returns there too. So we're quite happy with the defence. It's when we move to the midfield and the front line that it starts to get a bit iffy. Now we have Smith Rowe, Bowen and Jota at the moment as our 3 midfielders. Unfortunately, those are the 3 midfielders that could be necessary to play in this game week. Smith Rowe just got his place back. Hopefully that continues with Wolves away. We've got Bowen, who I'm happy to have in the side, but isn't exactly the big hitter that I want there. And we've got Jota, who could be the captain with that Leicester at home fixture. Leicester's defence looking iffy recently, but up front it's a bit poor. Now, to be honest, there isn't many great forward options at the moment, so that is a little bit of a consolation for me. We've got Antonio with Watford at home, then we have Dennis and King with West Ham away. I don't particularly want double Watford, and unfortunately for me, I think it was a big mistake to bring King in just because they had a double game week, completely overlooking the fact that they were Watford and it was unlikely that they were going to have great scores. Now yes, they had easier opponents, and yes, I wasn't expecting Roy Hodgson to be their manager, but I think overall, long term, it was a bit of a false step, because now I'm stuck with both of them, and transfer-wise, I may need to make transfers elsewhere. Could, of course, play 4-5-1 or 5-4-1, but King and Dennis, not particularly keen on having both of them. I think it goes back to the 3 hits in a blank game week last season where I didn't bring in Trossard and people did bring in Trossard and they had a fantastic game week in a blank game week, and I think fear of missing out has played its part here, and I've gone with double Watford attack. That just sounds wrong to say, double Watford attack. And unfortunately, the bench isn't looking much better. We have Dubravka, which is decent because it does mean potentially the Arsenal blanks that are coming aren't too big of an issue. I mean, Dubravka isn't the ideal player for me to have, but with all of Newcastle's signings, maybe defensively they will improve very quickly. We have Loughton, who is of course a playtime issue, and we have Salah, who is in the AFCON Cup final. Now, if he wasn't in the final, it's likely he would have been available for this game week, but unfortunately for me, they play Sunday, Liverpool's next game is Thursday, and depending on what happens, if Egypt win, maybe Salah isn't ready for game week 24, which means I've kept him for 3 game weeks instead of 2, and to be honest, the original plan was to get rid of him. Because we didn't get rid of him in the very first game week, we just thought we might as well hold. The plus point, though, is, of course, I don't have to worry about bringing him in for that game week 26, where he has an absolute brilliant double game week. And then the final bench option is Mason Mount, who blanks a lot in the next couple of game weeks. So we need to get him out of the side, and he is most likely to transfer out. And right now, I'm leaning towards Heung-min Son, as he is back in the Spurs side. Fortunately, we have the money in the bank to make the move. Even if Son goes up in price and Mount drops in price, I can still make the move, so I don't have to rush too much to make this transfer. So that is the most likely transfer in. And then, of course, if Salah plays, that's fantastic. Hopefully we'll get some more confirmation closer to the time. But the deadline, of course, is 2 days before Liverpool play, so that is going to be an issue for me. I would hope Salah would either be starting or not played at all if they're not going to put him on. But, of course, I can't really guarantee that. But Salah is definitely staying in the side now that I've gone this far with him on the bench. And finally, we just need to cover fixtures because so much has happened fixture-wise since Game Week 23 started, and Game Week 23 has only just finished. We've now found out that Game Week 25 has a double game week for Brighton and Manchester United. Now, to be honest, Manchester United, I don't really want to go anywhere near them, especially after their performance against Middlesbrough. And Brighton have Man United and Watford. There's the potential Brighton could do something in both of those fixtures, so there is a chance that I might take a cheeky punt on a Brighton player, but Spurs with Southampton and Wolves, and then a double game week in 26 do look my favourite option, and then it's Leeds, Everton and Man United after that. So Son feels like the safest option there. We then, of course, have game week 26, which is a massive double game week with Liverpool, Spurs, Crystal Palace, Watford, Leeds, Wolves, Burnley and Arsenal all having double game weeks. We do have to point out as well, Brighton have a blank game week this up and coming game week. We also have blank game week for Arsenal and Chelsea in 25, and then Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea, as well as Leicester, blank in game week 27. And with the way the FA Cup has gone, it also looks like with the current draw that if the big clubs beat the smaller clubs, we are going to have a very small game week 30 due to the FA Cup fixtures. So I need to go over these fixtures in fine detail, and potentially there could be a video middle of the week regarding what exactly my plans are, but off the top of my head right now, I think Son is the player to bring in for Mount this game week. Then it will be an Arsenal player out, which would be Tierney or Smith-Rowe in game week 25. Crystal Palace options looking very tasty for me. However, ideally I'd want Edouard because he feels like the player that's most nailed on. Conor Gallagher won't have a double game week in 26 because his parent club is Chelsea, so he won't play in that fixture. But it does mean he doesn't blank anywhere, and he's the most nailed on option for me. Edouard would be the favoured option, but I think an Arsenal player needs to go in game week 25, and it would have to be a Crystal Palace midfielder, most likely to come in. And unfortunately, and I never thought I'd actually say this on a video, Crystal Palace have so many midfield options, I'm not even sure who the guaranteed starters are in that team. Hopefully that would leave me in a decent position for game week 26, where we could take out any player who we feel like should leave, most likely Matt Loughton, because if he's not playing by game week 26, he's a wasted spot in my side. We could bring in a defender, and then another Arsenal player out in game week 27 would mean we should still be able to field an 11, and then hopefully we can use the free hit for the big blank game week I'm imagining in game week 30. Anyway guys, hopefully that has shed some light on the fixtures for you going up to the end of the season, or at least until game week 30. If it has and you are interested in fixture tables like this and Opta stats, do check out Fantasy Football Hub. They're one of the links in the description down below. They do support this channel as well. When you sign up, I do get a bit of the payment that you pay to Fantasy Football Hub, and it does support this channel. So if you want Opta stats, go and check them out. Also check out sponsors of this video, SPITCH. Don't forget those comments in the comments down below, and hopefully you'll be part of a new series on this channel. And also make sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because all of that helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and the YouTube algorithm can be harsh. Did you see my last video? Didn't do too well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I've been JNO. This has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.